very talented actor and the most beloved bartender America has ever known. Please welcome Ted Danson. In 1993, Ted Danson walked onto a stage and committed career suicide. What he did that night was so shocking even Howard Stern called it insane. The room went silent. People walked out. He made headlines for months. But this wasn't his first scandal. For years he'd been lying to everyone about who he really was. The hidden medical condition, the emotional immaturity, the affairs. At 77, he's finally revealing the truth behind the disasters that almost ended everything. And the most painful confession is not what you think. Ted Danson was born on December 29, 1947, in San Diego, but his early memories didn't come from the beaches of California. Not long after his birth, his family moved to Flagstaff, Arizona, a quiet town surrounded by mountains and ancient ruins. His father worked as an archaeologist and curator at the Museum of Northern Arizona, starting in 1959 and staying until 1975. His mother and older sister formed a small but tightly connected family. Their home life revolved around history and Native American culture. Ted grew up listening to his father talk about artifacts, watching digs unfold, and spending time around ancient sites that most kids only read about. But life at home wasn't easy. Money was tight. His father's museum job barely covered the basics. There was no television. His clothes were all hand-me-downs, often from his sister. Ted once said he looked like a ragamuffin most of the time. That kind of poverty leaves marks. Even after he became a star, Ted admitted the fear of not having enough never truly left him. He developed a strange relationship with money, describing people as tubes through which money simply passed, a survival mindset shaped by years of doing without. When Ted was 14 in 1961, his parents sent him to Kent School, a boarding school all the way in Connecticut. It was a prestigious place, full of polished, wealthy East Coast kids, the kind who came from long lines of privilege. Ted arrived as a scruffy teenager from a small Arizona town, and the culture shock hit him hard. His classmates mocked his clothes, his background, and his awkwardness. He didn't fit in, but there was one place he did find confidence: the basketball court. He was good, really good, enough that people finally noticed something other than his outsider status. Basketball became his escape, but behind that growing athletic reputation was something no one knew. Ted was born with Poland syndrome. On one side of his chest, the muscle simply never developed. It's a rare condition mostly affecting boys, and it left him with a visibly uneven chest. In locker rooms, it made him a target. The teasing hurt, and he never forgot it. For years he kept his condition a secret. He didn't talk about it publicly until 2000, when he told Orange Coast magazine just how deep the shame had run. Still, even with that hidden burden, he played basketball fiercely, using it as a shield to protect his self-worth. After high school, Ted somehow got into Stanford University, a fact he later joked about, saying he faked his way in. He admitted he was a terrible student, treating tests like games he could beat rather than subjects he cared about. But one random decision changed everything. He followed a girl to an acting audition, hoping to impress her. Instead, he found something that clicked inside him. He signed up for an acting class, then another. Soon he was sleeping in his car just to stay close to the theater. He'd found his calling. During his time at Stanford, he also met Randi Gosh, a young actress born in 1950. They fell fast and married in 1970. He was 22, she was 19, but the marriage didn't last. Ted later admitted he was too emotionally immature to be a husband. The couple split in 1975. Randi, who would go on to appear in Films like The Last Temptation of Christ had her own career, but their time together marked one of many periods where Ted's ambition clashed with his personal life. Wanting serious training, Ted left Stanford and transferred to Carnegie Mellon University in 1968. Their drama program was tough and Ted struggled with nerves. He'd have panic attacks before performances, but he stuck with it. He studied Shakespeare. He rehearsed constantly. He graduated in 1972 with a Bachelor of Fine Arts and immediately left for New York chasing work in theater. But dreams didn't pay the bills. Ted worked odd jobs, carpentry, waiting tables, anything to survive. He lived hand-to-mouth, sometimes barely scraping by. These years cemented his belief that success wasn't guaranteed. He learned to work hard, stay humble, and manage his time with laser focus. All that real-world pressure seeped into his acting. When he later played blue-collar characters, he understood their fears because he'd lived them. His big break came in 1975, when he landed a role on the soap opera Somerset, playing Tom Conway. For a full year he tackled massive amounts of dialogue daily. Soap operas are intense, fast scripts, no time to breathe, and Ted quickly learned the discipline of being camera-ready every day. But the grind also left him exhausted. He wanted something different. He didn't just want to act, he wanted to enjoy it. In 1977, he jumped to another soap, The Doctors, this time as Dr. Mitchell Pearson. Oddly enough, he had already played a different doctor on that same show just 2 years earlier. Soap operas often recycled actors like that. While these jobs helped sharpen his skills, Ted described them as feeling like a factory. He was getting better but not more fulfilled. Everything started to change in 1978 when he landed his first movie role, a serious one. In The Onion field, Ted played Officer Ian Campbell, a real LAPD detective who was kidnapped and murdered in 1963. The film was based on a true story, and Ted had to portray a man who actually died. It was heavy. It was tragic. It was far from the easy charm of daytime TV, but it showed what Ted could do. Critics took notice. That same year, Ted also made a guest appearance on Mrs. Columbo, starring Kate Mulgrew. It was his first step out of the soap world and into primetime television. His performance turned heads. Casting directors saw something different in him, a mix of quiet strength and natural liability. In 1979, he booked a string of roles including The Amazing Spider-Man, BJ and the Bear, and The French Atlantic Affair. He was building a real career off-screen, though his personal life remained rocky. After divorcing Randy in 1975, Ted married Casey Coates in 1977. She was a producer and their marriage seemed more stable.